RTD Live Talk, Detroit's #1 late night YouTube talk show. We are live for a Monday night or Monday evening, early evening live stream. It's about 6:19ish or so. Excited to connect and to talk about the market mania. And so, as of now, it appears that everything labeled as an asset that is correlated or uncorrelated, you name it, is heading in the upward direction. But of course, it's all due to the increase in the fiat currencies around the world flooding into markets and creating that asset bubble that continues to pump things up further and give people a false illusion of their net worth increasing until it will not. And therefore, the bubbles have to pop at some point. And I think I might have pinpointed something that I can say might be the bubble, might be the pin rather that pricks the bubble. And I'm going to share that as well as I want to hear from you guys. So welcome to the live stream. And as always, before I dive in any further, I want to make sure I welcome any new viewers to the live stream. Feel free to reach out to me via the comment section and let me know where you're watching from, as well as feel free to check in with me and let me know what's happening in your world, because, of course, there's a lot of things going on that I want to make sure we're able to cover during this live stream. So I'll check in via chat real quick, acknowledge a couple of people, and then we'll get started. So let me actually adjust my camera just a tad bit here. I see a little bit more than I want to see. Okay, so we should be good. Okay. So let me get in. We got Joliet Larry. Hi from the Chi-Town. How you doing? Appreciate you for tuning in. Let me go back to the very top. Right, we got Barlight Broker joining us. We got with the I'm gonna butcher that one. Leave it alone. But I appreciate you from checking in with me. We got LM. We got Jordan. We got David. We got Real Fresh Food. Okay, I like that sound there. LM. We got JCRC 65. It says, only solution, a new constitution prohibited the initiation of violence. 2, everything must be voluntary. If you need more rules and a leader, just sign a contract with whatever thief you want. Okay, I like that one. Crypto King, what's up, my friend? I will get with you. So let me know if you want some Hexicans to be on with you or whatever. Okay, I'll reach out to you. Once again, a lot of activity in the markets now. So there is a plethora of projects to consider these days, because it appears like everything is going up until it will not. So I want to get your thoughts on that as well. We got David from Quebec. Philman says, you read Tesla 1.5 billion purchase of Bitcoin. Yes, I did. And of course, I have my concerns with that. Not concerns, but just at this current moment, everything's an illusion. So I'm not surprised, to say the least. Apple's next, Amazon's coming, and every major big tech company has to jump on board. If not, you're going to be left behind. And so that's a part of the design, I believe. So we got Tony. We got Lost for Words. We got Mawal. Okay, I'm not gonna butcher that either. But I appreciate you. I do acknowledge. I see you out there in the chat. So I appreciate you for jumping in. We got JCRC from Medellin. Okay, Medellin. I was thinking about that the other day, man. Had a good time down there. Was it last winter? Yeah, I went down there last winter and I hung out with Mr. George Gammon. Had a good time. Okay, Colin says, when will the mining sector pick up again? Gold miners have been getting slammed since August. Colony, great question. My personal opinion is we haven't seen the worst yet in the mining sector, just because I have a good feeling that probably by April, we're going to have a severe market crash, and I'll tell you why that is once I stop rambling. Okay, so let me dive into a few little updates here, and then we'll dive in further. But I want to make sure I make mention, because going on, I think, the second week, third week. And so what I want to make sure I have available for everybody is to become a part of the Patreon gang. And so I'm really trying to, get a smaller group of individuals on the Patreon side for some unfiltered talk, a little face-to-face action, and just narrate in a more personal manner outside of just me staying on the surface in the public light here, just because of the YouTube algorithms, as well as the demonetization and censorship of the platform. And so for those that want to take it to the next level and support the channel and get a chance to meet more of the those that don't mind showing their face behind the scenes, consider becoming a member of Patreon. And we'll connect tomorrow night, just so you guys know. But what I want to bring to your attention real quick is the video I put out this morning about the stock market and the fact how manipulation is just running rampant, driven by the Federal Reserve, of course. That video was extremely censored. I had what looks like one view with about 60 or so thumbs ups. And it said one view for about 2 hours. And I got 3 different readings throughout the day. So on the back end, I can see what the videos look like. And to the public, it said 0 views and then 1 view with 65, 70 thumbs up, which clearly shows that something's wrong. And then on the one part of the back dashboard, it said there was 250 views within an hour. And then another measurement says it was at 375 or something like that. So that's three different numbers given on one video. So I know that that video must have had some things in it that was, probably touched a couple nerves with the algorithm. So if you guys didn't get a chance to listen to that one, watch that one, feel free to do so, because once again, it just shines more light into how the manipulation was exposed in January intentionally by the hedge funds to take us to where they want to take us. And I believe it has a lot to do with the ramping up of all these markets right now, getting a lot of fresh money in. So it's a lot of people on the sideline still probably either they tip a toe in between cryptocurrency, the stock market, the bond market, you name it. So they're trying to get everybody in before they pull the plug on this thing. And I think the plug will end up being something to do with this new variant of this Corona. You know what I'm talking about. So anyway, all right, enough rant. So let me put this on screen first. I want to make sure for those that are not aware, make sure you guys connect via Discord. And so a lot of the information I'm going to share happened to be shared first on the Discord page. So if you scroll beneath this video here to the social media area and just click on Discord, join the community there. We got over 100 or so people that chat throughout the day, and you can share articles and stories and just, share your 2 cents over there, and a lot of back and forth. And then also, if you want to find out wherever else Rethinking the Dollar is located at, here's all the links where you can find everything Rethinking the Dollar, just in case for some reason we're no longer on YouTube. Anyway, first article. Wall Street sets record closing highs on stimulus hopes and the vaccine deployment. Okay. And so to my knowledge, of course, this rally here, S&P at all-time high, Dow, I believe it's at an all-time high or near all-time high. And so if you name it, every indicator that is labeled or been used as a media ploy or media tactic to express the narrative of everything being fine, everything is, heading in our right direction, it happens to be in the equities markets. And so once again, S&P 500, the top companies, top corporations in this country right now are all extremely, extremely overpriced. Just look at the PE ratios, the price to earning ratios. None of these companies are as profitable as it's reflected in their actual earnings per share, which lets me know that there's a lot of people just trying to either run from something or trying to protect themselves for the possible expectation of inflation down the line that, of course, the Federal Reserve and all the other market indicators are signaling that we could see. And so people are literally running to the equities markets. And one of the things that caught my attention, let me see if I can find it real quick. So I think it was this. So I actually I popped open the S&P 500 right here on investing.com. And when you look at this thing, and so here we have just, the intraday actions, for last year or so. And so once you zoom out and you look at how just astronomical this graph is here, it reminded me of what, if you look up Zimbabwe and Venezuela and stuff like that, you'll see these same type of trajectories with some dips here and there, but yet ultimately everything is going to the moon. But yet what goes up must come down. And I'm thinking we're so far gone in this artificial reality that they presented in the form of these markets here, that when this thing corrects, it will correct like nothing we've ever seen before. And my personal gut feeling tells me that this upcoming spring, and I for some reason I could be wrong, I could be 100% wrong, I hope I'm 100% wrong, but given the current environment we're in now and the need and the narrative for more stimulus and how stimulus cannot fully be rolled out in the way that will be beneficial from a fiscal standpoint, unless there's more pain, unless there's more uncertainty, it'll make it a no-brainer for both sides of the aisle to come together in agreeing upon stimulus. And so, of course, we got Janet Yellen out talking about how, once this next 1.9 trillion is put out there, it's going to be great. We'll get back to full unemployment by next year, hands down. And this is the same person who, during her tenure as Federal Reserve chairwoman, said that she didn't see another market correction, another recession, depression in her lifetime. So my question at that point, which is about 3-4 years ago, is either she's going to have a shorter lifespan or this chick is lying. So once again, the idea of 1.9 trillion to get us back to full employment, sure. And I think Tony B in the Discord mentioned earlier, of course we can reach full employment. They're gonna maneuver the numbers, and when the numbers are in their favor, they can tell us whatever they want, and we're forced to believe it or not. And so once again, this stuff here, I can show you more graphs as to how. Look at this. Apple's a strong buy. Amazon's a strong buy. Tesla, 1.5, billion in Bitcoin recently also puts this in a micro strategy type of stratosphere where people might buy Tesla just for the fact that they got some Bitcoin on their balance sheet. And so here we got, the FANG stocks. They are booming right now. And once again, everything is all fine until, let me see here. So here's an article here. Elon Musk is serious about crypto, puts 1.5 billion. And so once again, what blew my mind today. And so I actually tweeted this, or not tweeted this, but checked in with this on the Discord page. And it happens to be just this astronomical number here from the crypto space. Look at this number here once this thing loads. Let me see. What's going on? It's taking so long. So anyway, I'm gonna zoom off of that because once again, I'm not sure why it's taking so long to load. But anyway, you guys get my drift. 45,000, as I think I saw that correctly. It's $45,000 for a single Bitcoin. Bananas, and it's just the beginning. And so the page doesn't want to load, so I might have to move on. Or, man, okay, give me 1 second here because I want to get to what I think might be the pin that pricks this bubble. And I think it's a part of the plan. It doesn't surprise me, but I'll just show you this little visual aid. This is look at this thing. Everything's in the green here, except Dogecoin. Dogecoin seems to be down, but $45,000 for a single unit of a BTC coin. Ethereum all-time high. Yeah. Market mania. But let me share with you my 2 cents on what will prick the bubble. And so this is what will, in my opinion, prick the bubble. Here we got the UK variant rapidly spreading in the US and doubling every 10 days, study says. And so, of course, we had the Super Bowl last night. And, of course, in Florida, there's a lot of people without masks. And so we know how the mainstream media love painting these doom and gloom pictures that the world's coming to an end. And we need to all be scared at all times and be prepared for the worst case scenarios, 24/7. And so here we got this article here. And when I saw this morning, I'm thinking, wow, this is it right here. Like, how can they not run with this? How can they not jump on this? The CDC, the government, everybody, mother who wants to make sure everybody's, locked in the house and afraid of everything. The variant. And so once again, we're not even a year into this whole introduction of a virus that's a replica / tweaked bioweapon format of a flu bug, influenza bug times 10 or whatever it might be. Already within a year, there's a variant. And of course, there's different strands and all types of things, which signifies that this is all a unnatural occurrence. This is not a natural event going on here. And of course, what better way to kick it off the spring in the U.S. other than having a variant running through the country, according to what we're being told and what we're going to be promoted or what we're going to be encouraged to believe is occurring. And of course, Biden, we know that Biden is waiting on something. He wants to shut this thing down. And of course, we all knew this prior to everything that President Trump pretty much spoke about as far as Biden looking to reform the courts, Biden looking to what else? You name it, all the stuff out there that was thrown out as to what we should expect will come to fruition, and I believe. And this variant here will be the pin that pricks the equities bubble and everything bubble, more than likely, because it's going to be a mad dash to cash. And so I think by the end of March, early April, I will be on the lookout for some type of severe correction so that 1.9 trillion that they're right now debating on who gets what and the stimulus checks and whether or not, we'll be able to get 1,400 or whether or not they will give us 2,000. We got the Omar representative from Minnesota talking about 2,000 every month for the foreseeable future, as long as there's a pandemic. Then we got the $3,000 per kid. So all this, what better way to get that wrong? What better way to reassure that there's going to be some stimulus with no hiccups, because it'll be inhumane not to pass it in the midst of a complete lockdown. So the lockdown 2021, I believe March, April, I'm not going to be willing to put anything on it. I hope it doesn't occur, but based upon the information being used here, what better way to get this narrative rolling that this variant will be the reason why they lock down. And I know here in Michigan, where Governor Whitmer is more than willing to comply with her, boss or whoever Biden is to her in the form of her loyalty and allegiance to that greater reset agenda, she's going to comply. And I can imagine the Democrat states, California, New York. Yeah, And then, of course, we're going to have all-out civil unrest because you're going to have a good portion of the Republican states not having it, and they're going to clash. So, yeah, there we have it, man. That's my little 2 cents there. But anyway, let me know your thoughts. I'm curious to hear what you guys think. I've been rambling a lot, but I just wanted to let you know what I believe is going to be what's going to be the pin that pricks the bubble. So phone lines are open. Give me a call. Let's talk. I want to hear from you. Let me know where I'm wrong. I could be 100% wrong, or I could be 100% right. I don't want to be right. But once again, once I ramble off the cuff, thinking far left field, everything appears to be lining up very well. But let me hear from you guys. What else? Okay. So as always, give me a call, 313-462-0027. And I'll take some questions and thoughts over the chat as well. So we got Mr. Philman right here says, you think XRP will shoot to the moon? You read Ripple suspended XRP's purchase due to a lawsuit for security fraud. Thoughts? Based upon the trajectory of everything going up until it does not. XRP, why not? Sure, let it go to the moon. I mean, if it does, if it doesn't, it doesn't matter at this point because we're in an illusionary financial realm. So I believe everything in the form of digital asset space will probably end up going to the moon direction until there's a correction, which is going to be the fear tactic to probably provide put up a little bit more life into the dollar paradigm. Because like we know from last March, when the markets tanked, the dollar shot through the roof because people need dollars. And when the entire globe is heavily indebted in dollar denominations, there's going to be a need for dollars. And so what better way to provide more life for the dollar other than to allow these markets to crash and create a demand for dollars? And once again, creating the same frenzy as last March. So we could have a repeat of March 2020 and 2021, possibly. And we got the whole the Trump impeachment, which starts today, tomorrow. And so once again, a man's not even president, but they want to impeach him. Why? Because they need to discredit him as a president to undo every single executive order he's put into effect over the last, probably 4 years, or definitely within the last year or two, which is probably putting wrinkles in their plans. So that is what it is. That's my 2 cents on that matter. So XRP is a trap, stay far away. Yeah. So once again, I personally, if the whole point in the digital currency space was to disrupt the bankers, why would you go about supporting them unless you jumped on a gravy train as wanting to profit off of this destruction of the system? But once again, being in XRP, I think outside of it's going to be the exit. How will you exit out of that trade there? That's going to be the biggest question, because the regulation that will ensue as a result of everything going upward will probably prohibit a lot of people from getting out of certain projects in the way that they would want to, because right now you can't spend, you can't spend XRP. You can't go out and actually go shopping with XRP. If I'm not mistaken, let me know. But BTC, LTC, Monero, other cryptocurrencies, you can actually put them on a debit card, prepaid debit card, and spend those things now. Or more than likely, there'll be more than enough people out there wanting in on the action to where they'll be willing to accept a form of cryptocurrency for payment. So we see more, major institutions looking to put their payroll on Bitcoin. So all that stuff is going to pump, man. Torrance says buy BNB, Binance coin. So yes, again, it's at 70 something a day. And so a lot of these projects, they are so far overinflated due to hype and speculation that I still think, if you're interested in that space, you got some time, because if I'm correct, which I could be wrong, this upcoming March, April, when there's a correction, all of those cryptocurrencies are going to be liquidated, because people who have probably put in more than they can afford to lose will need to get out in order to cover some of their losses or even survive damn near. So it's going to be a fire sale possibly again. Therefore, BNB could be back down to $20 a coin, where it has been for the last, how many ever months. And of course, the next crash will be the ideal time for all those institutions such as Amazon, Google, you name it, to come in and buy all this stuff up to take it right back up to the top. And then that's going to be how they are able to secure their bags, in my opinion. But anyway, let me see. Let's keep it going. Natural Mom, how you doing? We got Mike B. Says some people are so bought into the theater that they can't see past the game. Good point. Good point. And also, for those that I love being able to take in different sides, different perspectives, and formulate my own opinion. So once again, everything I'm sharing is based upon my uh, gathering of a lot of data, process it in my own mind, and trying to share it with you guys to get you to think as well, and to share your 2 cents as to what I'm sharing, because I can be 100% wrong. I can admit that with no problem. It's all fine and good. But based upon what's going on now, and I'm looking from the political sphere, I actually put on a Discord page last night about a lot of the things that are becoming quite obvious as to how there is no true presidential candidate at this moment. I believe the country is under martial law or a form of martial law. And FEMA, of course, the military is probably the sole controllers of the system, with the politicians in DC playing like they're still in power. Just look at the fact that the whole White House situation, Biden, there's more enough information out there that shows that Biden is nowhere near a damn White House. And I believe a lot of the military action and all the new fencing and gates, it's becoming a war. It's become a military zone. Like, they've surrounded that area to where I think they're not allowing this new administration into that region. So it's going to be interesting to see, as all this unfolds, because I think a lot of this has to do with, March and April being true turning points for our nation, financially, politically, you name it, to where everything appears to be one big Hollywood flick in a sense. But that's just my 2 cents, man, based upon all the stuff that I've been able to just gather and to process. And so ultimately, and so I see here the kingdom of darkness. Simon, great point, man. Like, we're witnessing, and this is on a spiritual note, I believe we're witnessing an heightened level of the clash of two different governing systems. We have the kingdom of darkness and the kingdom of light, i.e. the kingdom of God. And so this is just my personal opinion. All this corona health situation is so far gone evil, because once again, everything in regards to opposing viewpoints has been censored. And we're being told by these so-called experts and scientists that all this stuff that they're suggesting is good for us. There's more and more news about people taking the vaccine and dying, and I would encourage you, if you haven't already, go to the Discord page, because I share this stuff with those so that you can see it. And a lot of things I just will not put up here on, I won't put up on the page here, but for more in-depth insights into what I'm talking about, a lot of people throughout the day share all types of stuff. And so just here in the general section, I talk about, the vaccine, saying like all this stuff here, man. Like, here's a video here with a fake White House, Castle Rock Studios, which is just entertaining, man. Here's some Biden stuff here where you got to question, like, how's there a inside door next to looks like outside, door right here. And so this is the type of stuff we talk about on the Discord page. And so here's a yelling story I put out there. So a lot of good back and forth, man, on the Discord page. So I would encourage those to, if you're interested, join that and just, share your 2 cents. But we're witnessing spiritual warfare at the core essence of all this, darkness versus light. And that's why I think I'm excited to see what God has in store for his children right now, because I've been also looking at a lot of things from a mental health standpoint. And I have an interview coming up with someone in the biomedical realm that has some things to share about mental health, and I think it's going to be important for some people. And so, this is some interesting times we're in. But the pin that pricks the bubble will be this variant, I believe, because the politicians of DC, they need something to really push forward the need to get this 1.9 out with no hesitancy. And it's going to be they need more pain. They need more pain out there. They need more fear. And what better way to do it other than to pump up this variant that's about to run rampant, especially after the Super Bowl. Mark my words, in the next day or two, there's going to be articles and news stories coming out talking about, as a result of the Tampa, Florida, people celebrating and wearing masks, it's spread all across the country. And, you know what I'm talking about. You know where they're taking this. Anyway, Tony Ruiz says, IME digital footprint, new enslavement system. Good point, Tony. Thanks for sharing that. I'm about to give you some credit for that one. Let me let me put this on the screen here. So here's something. This is what Tony mentioned. So here is something I shared the other day where it's just right in front of your face. This is your DNA will be your data. The future is full of opportunity, HSBC. So this is a picture from, it was like a subway station or something in the EU or something. But look at this. Your DNA will be your data right in front of our faces, man. No shame, no in their game. And then here is the article. There's the article that Tony's talking about. Let me pull it up real quick. Where'd it go? Tony, where is it at, man? It's probably in the news. IMF digital footprint. Let me see here. Where'd it go? Here you go. So this is the article here that that Mr. Tony put out. Let me grab it over here, and I'll just highlight it real quick. But these are the plans that those that are trying to orchestrate this transition are rolling our way. And then I'm gonna stop ranting and take this phone call because I apologize. But let me go and take this phone call real quick, and then we will get into the article a little bit. So anyway, give me a call. I apologize. I got carried away. You know how I do it. I rant too much and get excited about the information that I share. And so I'll put this on here real quick. And so this is a repost from activist post, but it says IMF wants to use digital footprint of customers' online activities to assess credit worthiness. So once again, this is all stuff that a year ago was conspiracy. Now it's being rolled out as if it's like something worth considering. But enough of me rant. Let's get a couple calls in real quick. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, Mike. This is Casey from Fort Worth, Texas.
Casey from Fort Worth, Texas. How you doing, my friend? What's on your mind tonight?
I'm doing good. I think I caught you at the end. And anyways, there's an old quote from John Kennedy's father, Joseph Kennedy, where it says, "When the shoe shine boy gives you tips on what stocks to buy, it's time you pull out the market." Whenever people like us have obviously been, paying attention to this stuff since 2008.
Yeah.
But I've been watching people talk about Dogecoin or all this other stuff going up, and there's all these people that I see, on my social media that are just saying, "Where should I go? Just get into Binance, should I get into Coinbase?" And I don't know. Part of me, and that's also just a lot of market psychology. A lot of people just think that the fiat currency is junk now. So
yeah,
can I get your 2 cents on all this stuff that's going on? Anything that we there's just a lot of market psychology and a lot of stuff like that's going to pop the bubble, or what do you think?
So great question, great thoughts there. And so the psychology aspect of things is definitely kicking in because you have a lot of people now feeling like they're missing out on the potential gains that's out there. But yet, as I mentioned earlier in the Discord page, is that what we're witnessing ultimately that a lot of people are not talking about is that when you got Bitcoin at 45,000 and all these other coins going through the moon, that's literally the epitome of de-dollarization. So people are saying that I would rather be a part of this than a part of that because holding dollars, if you don't put dollars to work for you, they don't do nothing. But there's going to be more than enough stimulus that will dilute your purchasing power. So more people are saying, hey, as they wake up to all the stimulus, they're like, let me go ahead and spend some of this stuff so that I can either earn more. But in actuality, from a global standpoint, what they're doing is running from the Federal Reserve note and all the other currencies. So I think there'll be more people crowding in out of the fear of missing out. And then for those that are able to actually get involved and not see, the problem is with all this new money coming in is that people are not in it for the disruptive nature that cryptocurrency was supposed to be about. So it's going to be a lot of weak hands. So the moment this corrects in the next month or so, a slight dip, people are going to sell out like never before because they're not in it for the right reason. So outside of weight, silver, gold, and all those things like that, which is, of course, historical in nature, those individuals, they have confidence in metals because metals are proven. Over here, people are literally speculating. So I think it's going to continue to go up until it corrects, and there's going to be a lot of currency transferred into the hands of those that really know what's going on. So it's ultimately the transfer of wealth in a more heightened form, I believe.
All right. Well, thank you so much for that response.
Yes, sir. Appreciate the question, man. Thanks for calling in. Great question, man. Great question. Appreciate the thoughts and insights. Vince, man, I appreciate the love offering, Bus, man. Thank you for being a blessing to the channel. I'm not scared. Blood of the Lamb cover me. Definitely. Okay, got a couple more calls here. Let me see what I got here. Missed a call. Give me a call. And then also, as I mentioned, for those that want to connect, because with these formats here, keeping them relatively surface level talking, it's going to be more filtered just because of algorithms. And so this part of here is for you guys to connect, to share your voice. And I'm trying to up the ante a little bit by going to the unfiltered version with the Patreon gang, and that's going to be during the week. And so we go a lot longer and we have more heartfelt talks there. But definitely get involved if you're interested. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey there, Joe calling from Reno.
Joe from Reno. How you doing, my man? What's on your mind tonight?
Doing well. So, Mike, I wanted to ask you about how you're feeling the overall long-term picture here. Like, I've been trying to wake people up since like 2008-ish and the big crash over there. And, it just feels like, I don't know, people have shown their true colors. And maybe they just don't want to be woken up.
Yeah.
No matter what point it gets to.
Yeah. The biggest part I found over the last couple of years of trying to get people to think outside the box is that the discomfort, the disruption of their comforts. Most people are not willing to take responsibility upon themselves for their own financial future. Nevertheless, the idea of having to think about how to feed yourself, clothe yourself, all the things that our ancestors were forced to do out of mere necessity for survival, we've become complacent and very comfortable, and therefore it's going to be a lot of people are going to fall by the wayside. It's inevitable. It's unfortunate, but yeah, that's just how it goes, man. I've stopped trying to wake people up as opposed to just stick with people who are aware and provide everybody opportunity to continue to further prepare as best as they can. But yet, you're not going to wake up people who sleep and too comfortable, because it puts the responsibility on them. A lot of people don't want that responsibility over their own lives, to be honest with you, man.
Yeah, and I get that, but it's just even, how small a minority are you thinking we are in terms of stackers, people that get the system, the old Keynesian quote of only 1 in a million people will, see the theft of inflation, basically what our whole system is based on. And I'm thinking he was generous with those numbers.
Yeah. We unfortunately, those that are aware of the manipulation of all financial products and just this paradigm in general are the 1%ers. Like, literally, like, I believe it's that small, because you got 99% of the population that refuse to accept the fact that this presidential illusion was just one big farce. And then you got the great financial crisis from 11 years ago that really showed how bad things were, but people didn't learn their lessons. I mean, they got right back into the same thing because we've been dumbed down based upon the school system and everything else, to where, having 100+ years of a reserve currency, I guess, has really played into the fact that the dollar cannot go down. It must be the reserve currency forever. And people believe that. So, those that are aware of having 1 ounce of anything real in the form of gold, silver, whatever, and if you're into Satoshis in the Bitcoin sector, having a little bit of that puts you in 1%, because majority of people have no clue what's going on, man. They think this is
How are
a
you
natural
feeling
occurrence
about these Bitcoin? Because I'm still not buying into the digital illusion story here at all.
Yeah.
I see it going up a ton. I still don't think it's real. I actually think, that this is most likely one of the alphabet agencies that came up with this thing.
Yeah.
And where is that going to go? Or are you believing in the story? Because every time I ask someone to explain Bitcoin, it's like, oh, you just don't get it. And it's like, no, I get it pretty well. And I see it as a bunch of digits.
Yeah.
And, I saw a king wearing a great suit of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
He looked really good.
Yeah.
Are you, thinking this is the real deal, or
I think
gold and silver?
Of course, gold and silver to me, because they are historically known as the best form of wealth preservation based upon, mankind. It comes from the earth, and I'm on the mindset that anything that comes from the earth is originally put here by God for his people to use. We've kind of put it in an awkward position as far as, a lot of people worshiping and valuing money in a sense in that regard there. But I think gold and silver are the true anchors. And of course, the digital asset space here, I believe it's a backdoor out of the system. And it was introduced by those that want to make sure that the people who are now getting involved with this are able to escape as well. And this is another form of de-dollarization. So, of course, the race is to get away from overinflated currencies of all kinds. What better way to do it? The central banks are getting massive amounts of gold. You got stackers getting the silver game up. And you have those that are excited about a digital future buying Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. So all of these are back doors, front doors, windows out of a burning building. And so whether I believe in it or not, I think it's irrelevant, because it's here now. And when you got the so-called richest man on earth, Elon Musk, buying $1.5 billion for his company, Amazon, Apple, Google, they're all coming next just because they can't be left behind. So it's literally a backdoor out of a system that's dying. Now, the question will be, once the system crumbles and we're transitioning into a solely digital world led by CBDCs, how will governments around the world respond to these things here? And I think it's going to be very unfavorable because, you know, those that participated, and that by that time, they're going to have a complete track record as to who has what, how much it got, and taxation is going to be 80%, 90% capital gains on these things, and they're going to make it very burdensome to have them. And that's going to lead us
and I think the digital stuff, you know, Bitcoin started off as untrackable and all that stuff, and it's like, no, it's the opposite of that. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of feeling like it's a big trap, and all the people that got involved. Why didn't these companies invest in, you know, silver and gold to maintain their wealth? And they just see it as Bitcoin's the right thing to do. I don't know. I'm totally. The more I see, the more I question the stuff.
Well, hey, man, I appreciate your call and definitely appreciate your insights, my friend. Thanks for calling in.
Okay, thanks.
You got. Yeah, man, good stuff, man. I appreciate that. So, yeah, as far as gold and silver, the goal is to not go backwards. And so bringing up gold and silver as a hedge against, you know, extreme inflation, borderline hyperinflation in some of these countries around the world would put spotlight on, you know, historical assets that are literally physically inside somebody's possession. The goal is to remove your possessions from you. And of course, remember the Great Reset agenda, you'll own nothing and you'll be happy with it. So in order for them to actually get to that point in 2030 and beyond, they don't want you to have anything physical. That means real estate, gold, silver, that will be their ideal goal. Now the question will be, will we be able to disrupt that? And the best way you can disrupt that is to literally recognize what is going on and do the complete opposite. You know, do the opposite of what we're being told to do, in the form of, basically just, you know, making a choice to opt out as best you can in all forms of your life. And so that's my little rant, man. But anyway, about to dial back. I appreciate everybody for hanging out. I'm missing all types of calls. I apologize. I actually got to get running, but thanks for tuning in. And as I mentioned, for those that are interested, definitely, you know, click the Discord, and you guys can continue that on over on the Discord page here. Just go to the social media page, click the Discord link, and you guys can join us there. And then also want to make sure you guys are aware of the fact that we are also doing some after market talk with the Patreon gang. And so let me pull this up here. So here's the website, rethinkingdollar.com. I'll post articles throughout the day. Definitely connect there and get that information. And then go to the Patreon side of things if you guys are interested in talking more unfiltered talk and just really getting down to the nitty gritty of what's going on and sharing our thoughts unfiltered. So anyway, people, it has been great hanging out. If you enjoyed the back and forth and a couple call-ins and the chat room activity, hit that thumbs up button, show your support for the channel. It's definitely appreciated. And other than that, people, we'll be back at it tomorrow, Lord willing. Be safe. Peace. Hey there, sorry for this interruption, but I wanted to bring something to your attention. If you've been enjoying this live stream, why don't you partner with me and be a support to the channel via Patreon membership for just a minimum of $5 a month. All you have to do is scroll down beneath this video here, click the Patreon link, then consider donating as little as $5 a month towards the channel. A little bit of crumbs can go a long way, and I appreciate your support. Now, let's get back to this live stream.